aspects of public sector information.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I'm going to present very briefly our work. We have had several meetings and contacts with the shadow rapporteur, so I think that we are working very well in the Parliament on this file. The Commission's proposal is very much forward-looking, and I think it creates an excellent basis for the increase of publicity of the public information in order to reuse it with a very large economic effect and with a very good increase of the transparency. However, there are some questions that we need to answer when adopting the final file. First, and it is in my report, we have to take into consideration the concerns of the privacy directives and the data protection directives. Second, we need to find a way to compensate especially for local governments, the eventual losses into their budgets if they present the information of marginal cost, which is something absolutely, I think, sensible. And we have to also deal with some, I would say, minor issues related with the presence of control and the justification of the marginal costs in the member states. These are the major issues that have been raised together with some smaller ones related to the inclusion into the directive of the public libraries, archives, etc., etc. They have some particular concerns, but I think that we can adopt a report and the final decision that could go in line and answer to these concerns. Thank you very much.
Grazie. Sedo Yalabar.
Thank you very much. Mr. Sedo Yalabar.
I fully agree with Mr. Calfin about the importance of this reuse of the public service information in order that is a key factor for the EU 2020 strategy for growth, and also to guarantee the more transparency in public administration and to promote the better engagement between social and political life. The aim of the directive was to harmonise the condition for the reuse and to promote and to remove the barriers to the single market. This goal was not really achieved, and we have to move on that. Very briefly, to say that for me the Calfin report is in a good direction. It's focusing on the protection of the privacy and personal data, the technological neutrality of the documents available, the exclusive rights, or the role of the independent authority. And just to finish, what it could be the more controversial role is about the charging, about how we can work on the different ways to charge only the marginal cost, or in what is my opinion, we have to take in mind that there is some public bodies that from the revenues they cover a substantial part of their budget. This is the most key question that we can differ from Calfin report, but I'm sure that we will be able to look for a compromise. Thank you very much.
Grazie. Amelia Andersdotter.
Thank you very much. Amelia Andersdotter.
I want to thank the rapporteur, and I agree that the public sector, information sector, has large reuse potential. I'm happy with the draft report from the rapporteur. I share his concerns about marginal price and the concerns for privacy. I'm also happy about the progressions from the Council of Ministers that the committee has been reported about, including the emphasis on open formats and open publication of the data. I still feel that despite the inclusion of cultural sectors such as libraries and museums, metadata from them, we still have missed the public broadcasters in this directive. Public broadcasters have been paid throughout the 20th century to produce material for the public. They've been paid by the public to produce this material. Now it is inaccessible to a large part of the European population, which decreases intergenerational understanding, and it decreases also cross-border understanding. Now, if you're born in 1945 or earlier, you're likely to have lived through the entire European history of television. If you're born in the end of the 1980s, you have not. If the public broadcasters are counted to the public sector information that could hold a large reuse value, cultural value, and social value for the European Union, I think much would have been gained from that. Thank you.
Grazie, mi sembra che non ci sia nessuno.
Thank you. I don't think we have anyone for the Commission or from the Commission. Oh, we do.
I'd like to thank the committee, the representatives of the groups who've spoken for their support, and we look forward to working with you to finalise the text. As you will imagine, there are still discussions in the Council, and so there are rooms for making sure that the underlying ideas that the Commission has put in its proposal are clearly expressed. We are fully in support of making sure that protection of personal data is completely guaranteed. In other words, that the right of reuse does not prevail over people's personal data, which is protected by EU rules, which are also under discussion here, and to make sure there's a right balance between the availability of this data for reuse, preferably for free or generate for marginal costs, but in duly justified cases for higher charges. And that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Grazie, la parola al collega Calfin per le conclusioni.
Thank you, Mr. Calfin, please, for the conclusions.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I think that we have a clear identification of the remaining issues. There are not that many, although I wouldn't underestimate them. I'm sure that we shall find a very consolidated position in the Parliament, and then we shall start the contacts with the Council to adopt